of what happens if Leicester City get relegated. Okay, so let's explore the unthinkable. The Premier League TV money makes up around 70% of our total revenue, and that will put a huge dent in our club finances if we get relegated. Every club relegated from the Premier League receive parachute payments to soften the financial blow of relegation. Each club receives around 55% of the amount that each Premier League team would collect under an equal share of broadcast revenue, reduced to 45% in the second year and 20% in the year after that. Recent figures suggest that current figure would be £40 million in the first year, £35 million in the second year, and £15 million in the third. Clubs that return to the Premier League within 3 years of being relegated do not receive parachute payments. The funds tends to be shared between the Premier League clubs instead. Next up, we're going to talk about player retention. As we've already discussed, 7 players are out of contract this summer. Chowdhury will likely sign for Watford, and City will no doubt pick up £60 million plus for James Maddison. So in theory, they could be around £100 million better off in transfer fees and player wages. The wages of players we bring in will be highly dependent on what league we are playing in, but they should be substantially lower if we are in the Championship. Most players will have a reduction in wages written into their contracts if we go down, and that can be anything from 25% to 50% decrease. Many players might also have a relegation release clause, which could mean that we will lose players for well below the market if we've done that. All that said, financial requirements are tighter in the Championship. The English Football League are expected to overhaul their financial fair play model to limit clubs to spending 70% of their revenue. Teams in the second tier are currently permitted losses of up to £39 million over 3 years. So relegation would no doubt see a mass exodus in playing staff, with the likes of Ricardo and Didi, Soumare, Barnes, Iheanacho and Castagna likely to head for the exit, further reducing our annual salary but also reducing our chances of getting back up. Leicester's chief executive Susan Whelan released a statement with the latest financial statement, saying,
"King Power's unwavering support of the club provides a secure position from which to capitalise on our opportunities. However, in order to remain compliant with the game's regulations, both domestically and in Europe, where we aim to compete regularly, our ongoing investment strategy must continue to reflect our underlying revenue progression. Our long-term ambition is to achieve this through on-pitch success, the commercial growth that comes with it, and through the expansion of our stadium and the development of the associated master plan. In the shorter term, as we look to continue to compete with more established opponents, profits from player trading and continued successful recruitment will continue to feature prominently in our strategy. This approach has served us well in the past, bolstering our capability to keep investing in the growth of the club and forming a cornerstone of the most successful era in Leicester City's history."
Now this statement is a little bit of a worry for me, because we are losing £90 million worth of players this summer. The most recent recruits, I think we will fail to recoup our costs for. It's only a sustainable model if you can continue to replace the top outgoing talent with fresh up-and-coming alternatives. It's a risky strategy, and one that many clubs have fallen victim to in the past. Can we really expect to continue to dig up the Mahrezes, the Kantés, the Fofanas of the world, sell them on, and continue to enjoy success? Leicester City fans should be able to sleep soundly with an owner like Kun Top, having built the £100 million training complex at Seagrave, further showing his commitment to the club by striking off £194 million in debt earlier this year, and still going ahead with the stadium expansion. But sitting just 3 points off bottom and having had Blackburn knock us out of the FA Cup recently, City fans can rightly be worried about the prospect of relegation and the financial ramifications of the drop. It would be naive to think that we are too good to go down. As many clubs have fought before and suffered the consequences, clubs like Portsmouth, Sunderland and Derby know all too well how quickly reality can slap you in the face. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think? All of this seems a far cry from when we won the league in 2016. If you want to remind yourself of such a win, I have my prints on sale on my eBay store. I will leave the link in the description. I have these currently on sale for £5 on eBay. They usually retail for around £20. So grab yourself a bargain whilst they're still on offer. I'm only selling them at this price whilst I have stock. So it's limited only. I think I've sold 25 already. Probably about another 75 to go. Don't forget to like and subscribe, it supports the channel and it allows me to continue to make content like this. If you like this video, why not check out the only other video that I've made, which is after the Southampton game, where I discuss Brendan Rodgers and his future at the club. Today we'll be discussing whether or not Brendan Rodgers' time at Leicester City is up or should be up. Yesterday we played Southampton, who